going to talk about what I've been wearing for fall winter 26. So let's get into it. Alright, I want to start off talking about this 1977 Sounds of Powder skiing tee, which is probably my most worn shirt at this point. It's made of a very nice, soft slub cotton. It was printed on a signal tag, which I'll show a little closer later in the video. Single stitch arms and single stitch midsection, and I'm a really big fan of the graphic on it. It reminds me a lot of it comes with some kind of like black metal or like punk graphic, and so does the font a little bit. Like it's some like Black Flag kind of graphic or some ERD stuff. But I thrifted it for like $2, so yeah, definitely one of my best finds ever, and I wear this all the time. Alright, next up, let's talk about this Spring/Summer 2007 Bernard Wilhelm astronaut hoodie, which is probably one of my best pickups ever. I got it for $60 on Grailed, which for the quality of this piece is just insane, although Bernard Wilhelm typically does go for less on secondhand markets. But there's a lot to unwrap with this piece, so let's get started on my interpretation of it. Basically, my interpretation of this is that it's got, right, two rockets, kind of, you know, and then whatever this is on the back, some kind of spaceship, launching off into the solar system, which is the cotton textile on the shoulders and the hood. You see the stars there? So what this piece really communicates to me is a sense of childlike imagination, which I really appreciate and which I really think fits in with a lot of Bernard Wilhelm's other stuff. It feels very mystical, fantastical, and you know, there's even the element of like Norwegian, Scandinavian folklore in here, which you can see on the wash tag as well, which I'll show. Other than that, features a nice double zipper here, the signature Bernard Wilhelm like glove wash tag, which I'll also show. But yeah, I mean, it's made of a super heavy cotton, made in Belgium. It's got this like astronaut hood that is really sick when you put it on. It almost like covers your eyes. So yeah, I've been wearing the heck out of this. Alright, next up we have this hoodie from General Research, made in 1997. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but at the back it says, "At Max Economy of Invested Resources." And this one is also really special to me because I'm a sucker for a good brand concept, and when it comes to concepts, you know, you can't really beat General Research's like future outdoorsy survival dystopia thing. And what this reminds me of a lot is the like snowfall, right? Like the land is covered in snow, and the back message is basically saying like, oh, like we're kind of cooked, you know, we're at the max capacity of invested resources, and so what are you gonna do? Very Frostpunk-y. Let's get into some special details about this hoodie. First of all, the hood has a cone-shaped peak here, which I really appreciate. It's made of some of the thickest cotton I've ever felt, like 100% cotton, made in Japan, obviously. And it's got this little V neck cut here, which is a nice texture break from the rest of the hoodie. And this might look like a print actually, but every single one of these little white specks here, which I like to imagine are snow falling, is actually a counter stitch, right? It's a contrast stitch going in the opposite direction. And so, yeah, it's almost this like blue, like digital camo type vibe, which I really, really like. You also get that color break in the sleeves, the midsection, which they're both bleeding. And I don't know if that's gonna be an issue when I get around to washing it, but I guess I'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. But I think that also is an indicator of, hey, like we're using actually good real dye. So yeah, super underrated brand, and I've been wearing the heck out of this too. And moving on to bottoms, got these Demir Doma cargo pod shorts, you know, very Rick Owens-esque, but I really like Demir Doma. I think he's a very underrated designer in the avant-garde space, and he keeps it pretty simple, which I appreciate. So these are from the Diffusion line named Silent. They feature the drop crotch here, mostly single stitching on the legs and the sides here. They also feature this like fake pocket loop, which I kind of like, but it's tricked me many times. Like, you know, I've been trying to put my phone in the side pocket and it'll just fall through because I actually just put it through the pocket loop. But yeah, these are pretty simple, 100% cotton, made in Italy, but a good lightweight, you know, kind of spring-summer vibe. I also want to talk about something I'm wearing right now, which is these Abercrombie & Fitch bootcut jeans from back in the day. Made in USA, 32 by 30, you know, extremely high quality. The only thing about these, and maybe the interesting thing about these, is the fact that they are an unfinished sample pair. And so I was able to get them for cheaper on eBay, right, and get some good made in USA denim. But the trade-off is they have little inscriptions here. I'll get a close-up, but this one says AF, and then this one is like the product tag or something, which I think is also pretty cool. You know, some clean distressing throughout. You got a little faded imprint in the back of a wallet or cigarettes or something. The thing that sucks about these, like the main thing that sucks about these is they don't have these belt loops on the back. And so I'll kind of just look like an asshole all day trying to fix my pants, and people will be like, you're digging in your butt. But no, I'm just, you know, I'm pulling on my pants because they'll fall down because there's no belt loops. Which, yeah, that kind of sucks, but I really do like these pants, and, you know, they sit really well on shoes and all that, so good pickup, good pickup. Alright, finally for headwear, this is the Fall Winter 25 Walter Van Beirendonck beanie, his face beanie. I'll unwrap it so you can see the actual face. I have this in the black and green colorway, 100% super fine wool, made in Belgium, you know, high quality stuff. And I've always been a huge Walter Van Beirendonck fan, and so this is kind of my perfect piece. Like, I'll just throw this on all the time. I think it's a really funny picture, right, with the face and then the pom-poms as the ears, and it does a good job at keeping my head warm, so can't really ask for much more in a hat. Yeah, not too much to say about this one, but it's cool.